HUSA. This thing is kind of breaking out right now. It's a low float, I believe oil and gas. Just double check. Yeah, low float. Kind of broke out. I mean, it just kind of, yeah, saw some volume. I think there might be news, but on the daily we had a huge day about a month or so ago, and then, I mean, probably a huge flush down, and sort of faded, and now we're kind of getting a breakout there. It seems like, perhaps we just saw some volume, and then some shorts are covering off of that. And I think if this thing breaks 675, I mean, ways to go, but then it would be really explosive. I mean, right now it is breaking out pretty good right now. Let's see if I can draw this. We're going to have a wedge. We did have a wedge going on, and now it's breaking out of that. It kind of had a resistance at 475 with a little bit of a break, but kind of failed and just been kind of wedging up, to that $5. Well, now it's wedging up to that $5 area. The break of 475, and now it's up on 5. Bell's about to ring, and the day's gonna close. I think maybe you might see a little bit of action here just in after hours. I think though, well, tomorrow is actually going to be no trading because of observed holiday, so it might lose some momentum. But I think this thing holds this 480, even more so, holds 5 come next trading day, which I believe is Monday. This could really see an explosive move. I think kind of have maybe next level would be a 4 or 540. Volume's coming in now. I mean, it kind of has earlier in the day, but really more so post this move. I mean, this thing jumped from, it was sitting at like nearly 350. Huge move up to 450, now breaking out even further. And there's the bell. That does seem to be, well, possibly holding. Maybe a bit of a consolidation around 5. I think, yeah, I mean, there's really not much in terms of levels. Prior to the big day it had about a month or so ago, it was pretty flat around $1 almost. So not too much historical levels. It's really that that 675 and that 540 range. We had a little bit of consolidation post the big move, a little bit of fade, and now it's kind of popping up. So if you can hold this 480 and make a creep up to 540, might have some room to play within that to 675, but it's going to need to see the volume. I think this really was kind of just a slow grind, and then triggered some shorts, snowball effect. Everything got squeezed, and now it's got a little bit of attention. All right, let's take a look at VERU. We had taken a look at this past couple days, and even earlier today. I mean, we saw it make a huge squeeze yesterday, and then kind of consolidate, almost kind of hold in the pre-market, and then had a big move up on the upside in the open, but then a huge flush down from nearly 16 to almost 13 in almost in one candle. But then on the flip side, it comes back from like 1480 to 17.5. Very, very volatile. I mean, this really doesn't have any direct news right now. It's really more of a continuation play from 4 days ago, and so it's just people kind of trading within the range. Any supports that have possibly been are resistant, possibly been established. You kind of see some of those levels at play here, but it really is, I'd say, more showing some weakness. I mean, volumes kind of dropped off, especially the later half of the day. I mean, after this huge drop down, It was like almost mid-morning, late morning, huge flush break of VWAP, and then just kind of broke down further with a little bit of consolidation, and it's kind of hovering, in between VWAP and $14. Volume is pretty light, so it's kind of tough to see moves, but I've been probably saying that every single day, and it still comes back. I think, a break of 16 would be probably the most explosive move. It's kind of trying to test the break of VWAP here at 15-ish, but it's really going to need that 16 for the upside. And it's kind of been holding 360, 350, 360. So I think if it can't break VWAP here and fades down to 1360, I should say, it might see a fade, then back down to 1240 or so. That was kind of the original breakout level from yesterday. It's really volatile right now, just really flip-flopping in between going up and down, but the volume is just tapering off so dramatically that it's hard to kind of find confidence in buying this. Unless it slowly grinds at the 16, I don't think that it's probably going to fade. All right. Let's take a look at WORX, low float. Saw a big move. This is pretty common of low floats. Just a huge gap up, but very quick retracement. It basically 90 cents to $1.50 almost, just a few candles, and then comes back, finds support at 110, but ultimately can't hold it. Breaks down a little bit, but consolidates, and now it's really just kind of hovering around that 110 level. I think, this had a little bit of news, and that's where you kind of see the spike. It's kind of common, I feel like, with the low floats, news, big spike. It's nothing monumental, or there's not enough eyeballs on it. It's just going to see a retracement right away, and then that's kind of it. This does have a little bit of a historical pattern of gapping up and dropping down. This really is not that significant of a gap up, I think. We do really have that. It's like that 112 historically. You can see it follows that today. I think it would really have to break 1.4 and sustain that for a bigger move. It did kind of break that there. You don't really see any follow through. But those kind of seem to be the big lines of consolidation months previous. My guess would be, unless this thing gets more attention, it's probably going to do what it did, almost like 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, which was just pop up, a little bit of consolidation around the 112, ultimately fade maybe back down to just under $1.